Good morning and welcome to Smashing Plastic Podcast. I am the host, Tommy Welch. In today's episode, we have an amazing guest. You may know him, you may not. His name is Tommy Welch. That's me. So just going to take this time to actually share with you guys the background on me and a little bit about Tommy Welch, the world of pickleball, where Smashing Plastic came from, so that you know who's behind the mic and who's bringing on these guests and who's talking Smashing Plastic. First and foremost, my name is Tommy Welch. I am exactly 42 years old, live in the beautiful world of Charleston, South Carolina, have been a certified pickleball professional PPR pro for about 3 years now. Like many, have had a very short stint of pickleball knowledge prior to that time. Was actually introduced to the game in a very odd way, to where my family and I were on Hilton Head Island back in 2020, many, many moons ago, it feels like, during the world of COVID. And true story, my son and I were bike riding, and the island was completely vacant because it was that exact weekend that the world shut down. We drove by the tennis complex, and there was a bright orange flyer on the window that said pickleball lessons 8 a.m. Saturday morning. And there was a sign-up sheet with absolutely nobody on the sign-up sheet. So my son and I decided that there was nothing else to do on the island. All of the restaurants were closed. Everything was closed. And I actually signed my son and I up. I woke my son up that Saturday morning, and he decided that he didn't want to go. So it was going to be me, myself, and I that got on a bike and went over to the pickleball complex and got a lesson that was by myself for 1 hour with an instructor by the name of Coach Tom. And him and I hit pickleball together for about an hour and 45 minutes. And he exclaimed and gave me lots of superlatives and basically said that I needed to stay with this thing because I was really good at it for somebody that had never picked up a pickleball paddle. That was in 2020. To make a long story short, I got back, found a court that was close to where I lived. My son and I actually played. It was clay of craziness. It was actually clay pickleball that we played on pretty regularly. And again, COVID's going on, so baseball's not happening. Nothing's able to get outside. And him and I just get the bug to the point to where I'm like, you know what? He wanted to have a pickleball birthday party. With that being said, we had about 30 players and parents show up at this pickleball party. We actually had a birthday party during COVID, which was crazy to say, but we did. It was outside. Everybody had a blast, and I just had an epiphany as I looked around and saw a lot of people having fun doing something that they had never done before. That gave me the bug enough, guys, to go to the internet, find a place that I could get certified for coaching as a baseball coach. I have been coaching for many, many moons now, nearly over a decade in that arena. And so coaching is something that I thoroughly enjoy, and I feel it's a calling that I have. I wanted to make sure that I was certified to actually give instruction in what I was talking about when it came to pickleball. I went down to Hilton Head for the PPR for a couple days and got certified as a PPR instructor. Nearly a month after that, I get a phone call from LTP Daniel Island to become an interview for their new pickleball facility that they wanted to get a instructor for. And they hired me on the spot, and I coached and taught PPR certified lessons at the LTP Daniel Island for a year. Helped that club grow, which was already full of just amazing folks. And the commute was a lot from Somerville to Daniel Island. Decided to not renew there, and believe it or not, had an opportunity to help Pine Forest Country Club convert some of their existing clay courts into a beautiful 6-court complex that they now have at pickleball. I was there for a year as their director of pickleball instruction, and that was a little over a year ago. And here I am now. I am no longer with Pine Forest. I'm actually independently owned and operating now Smashing Plastic on my own as a certified PPR instructor, coach. I have the beautiful ability to coach and give camps, clinics, lessons, 101s, 102s, personal lessons to any and all those folks that are around the Charleston area, and have been very privileged and blessed thus far to coach a lot of kids and a lot of adults learning how to do pickleball. That is a very quick 30,000 square foot overview of how pickleball has been blasted into my life since 2020. Here we are now, 2024, and we are neck deep into smashing plastic and looking for what the future is going to bring with that. The goal of this, of course, is to get to the point where Smashing Plastic has its own dedicated facility, its own courts, a place that you can literally go to for just legitimately membership pickleball, 101 pickleball, or even if you want to get crazy and chase that beloved thing called professional pickleball, we are aiming to be a place that you can do that as well. We have our ambassador team that is full of sponsored athletes that range from literally 9 years old to 59 years old, maybe even a little bit older. And we are getting ready to launch into the point where we're actually sponsoring some of our legitimate athletes that are going to be chasing some of those trophies on tour. So please stay tuned to that. It's been really exciting to see how this thing has grown and continues to grow with all of the amazing support, all of the amazing players. In our local area, we are very fortunate and blessed that Charleston is I believe, a hotbed that is growing like crazy with so many public areas that we have for pickleball. We have now a couple indoor places. We have more places that are coming. So the sport is exploding as our town is exploding. And that gives a little bit of the insight to where Smashing Plastic is and where Smashing Plastic is going.
Get ready to dive into a world of greatness with Smashing Plastic Pickleball. Elevate your game and look good doing it. From beginners to pros, we've got gear for every player. But that's not all. Planning an event? Let our experienced team make it a smashing success. Want to improve your skills? Our certified PPR professionals offer top-notch coaching, clinics, and lessons for all levels. Don't you wait. Experience the greatness of Smashing Plastic Pickleball today. Visit our store, join our events, and unleash your pickleball passion.
Favorite touring pro, I'm going to say, is Tyson McGuffin. Beloved Tyson, I've never had the privilege to meet you. I've been to a couple of events. We've got some similar circles. I have not met Tyson McGuffin, but for whatever the reason, I love the energy. He's a firecracker on court. I do feel like he's a really good instructional coach from all of the content that he's provided me. I'm a big fan of Tyson McGuffin. And I look forward to actually shaking that man's hand one day and giving him a high five because he's definitely been an inspiration to me. Favorite local court for me to play at as at this moment is Laurel. It is 4 dedicated pickleball courts that were actually resurfaced and rehabbed from an old tennis court that wasn't being used in the downtown Somerville area. If you are ever in the neck of the woods, please look us up on Team Reach. There's a code on there for Laurel, Laurel. And I'm normally there a couple days during the week and be more than happy to play with you if I see you. Favorite sport to play when it's not pickleball is, of course, baseball. I am an avid baseball player, have been since I came out of the womb. I am blessed and privileged to coach a very high national level team called Somerville Vapor, and I have been a part of the field of play in baseball since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Technique that I'm currently working on right now is going to be what we call the roll volley. I'm doing a very, very, very dedicated study on how to get better at the kitchen line net of roll volleying. Basically what that means is allowing my hand and my wrist to pronate as the ball comes in. I'm doing my best to keep that instead of a punch volley. I'm looking to do a roll volley so it creates top spin and allows the ball to go to the opponent's feet. So, in summary, for the technical side of pickleball and how quickly did I take off and what were some of the things, as a coaching background in baseball, which is a very technical game, one of the things that I did like about pickleball, that I still like about pickleball, is that it is very easily to be picked up, and literally with a few lessons up front, I do feel like you can get your grip around the fundamentals of pickleball. That's one of the things that we focus on for Smashing Plastic, is we call it fundamental with an emphasis on fun, making sure that the instruction that we give in Pickleball 101, 102, 103, literally it starts you from the understanding the simple things as how to hold the paddle all the way to getting to doing your very first tournament. As I was navigating this, and I still am today, I want to make sure that I am by no means advertising that I am the greatest thing since sliced breast play in pickleball. I do want to make sure that folks hear me when I say that I do believe with every shadow of my doubt that you can get yourself within a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month span of playing pickleball to the point where you can comfortably compete on various levels and start setting stages for where you want to go. Some of the things, like anybody, when they first start pickleball, that I struggled with was legitimately just the power of the game and hitting the ball way too hard. I feel like when everybody comes into pickleball, one of the first things that we want to do is immediately hit the ball hard, hence the whole name of our brand of Smashing Plastic. It's going to sound crazy, but the more advanced that I become in pickleball and the more that I see advanced pickleball, the more I realize that it really is more so a game of touch. Now, I don't want to use the word soft because I don't think that it is a soft game now by any stretch. In fact, I feel like it's getting harder in some aspects with the paddle technology and how fast the ball is moving. But I do want to make sure that I emphasize on touch is absolutely crucial in your game of pickleball. Learning how to hit the various, 90% shots, 60% shots, 30% shots, whether you're dinking, keeping it in the kitchen, whether you're able to hit a nice soft lob that's over the opponent. Those are things that are going to take, they're going to take time. They're not something that you can just come in and walk into and play your first or second match or your first or second month and have all of the various shots. But I do feel like if you have a coach or instructor that can watch you, navigate you through some of those, it will definitely expedite your learning curve into being able to compete and play on various levels of your community courts or your public courts or your wherever. If you're playing in events, I feel like you need to have a variety of shots, and that is definitely something that I feel like instruction can definitely help you with. Next, and most importantly, is just learning the ins and outs of all of the different technologies of the different paddles and the various balls that are out there. I feel like that's definitely something that you kind of next step into to where paddle does make a difference. Realistically, there's so many varieties of paddles. I am blessed and fortunate enough right now to actually be sponsored by Head. Head does an amazing job with providing me with equipment that has varied performances in them and allows me with both my students and myself to play and test various different paddles. And it's really neat to kind of see how quickly the technology has changed since when I first got in, which was only 2020, to now we are in 2024. I am telling you folks, paddles are different night and day. So make sure that you take the time to try various paddles. If you have most of places that are listening right now have guys and gals that are ambassadors or brand reps, try different ones because you'll be amazed at the different touches and techniques that you can learn just by simply changing the paddle. It really does matter. I'm a big advocate. I'm a coach, so I understand it's the Indian, not the arrow, but I will say this, the arrow does matter too, so make sure you're trying different paddles, and you'll find ones that will either be long-handled, short-handled, hot, not so hot, wide, edged, non-edged. Like there's different things that make you feel comfortable and confident with your paddle, so make sure you check those out. Lastly, and most importantly, is just where do I see smashing plastic going? Where are we at right now? And where is the world of pickleball going? I personally don't feel that I have a crystal ball to tell you that pickleball is going to be the biggest thing, in 5 years. I will say this, from what all the data shows and just from the various interests and the messages and the folks and the variety of folks that we're seeing, I feel like pickleball within the next, honestly, 36 months, maybe 2 to 3 years is by far going to become a high school sport. I definitely feel like it's going to become a collegiate sport. And if that happens, then without a shadow of a doubt, I feel like it becomes an Olympic sport. There are already massive, big name, we'll call them big pickle, that are involved in this sport that were not in 2020. I'm talking big names, Nike, Adidas. There are brands in here that everybody knows worldwide that are now involved in pickleball that really weren't, in 2020 that you would even think about. And there's new brands, being born basically every other week. It's kind of a gold rush right now, if you will, for pickleball is what I see. With that being said, one of the other things that I find interesting is all of the varied athletes that are coming over. I cannot tell you as a baseball coach how many baseball players I see on the personal public court that I play with on a weekly basis. I see more and more ball players that are there with their girlfriends or they're just with their friends playing, which leads me to believe that they're having fun and they're doing something that makes them feel like they are competing when they're not on the field. And I feel like there's a lot of other sports that can probably attest to the same exact thing. So I do feel like pickleball is here to stay. I think it's going to be very interesting to see the youth. For me, that's a personal vested interest that I have, that I want to have Smashing Plastic brand associated with, is, that 9-year-old all the way up to that 19-year-old, them competing in events, team events such as MILP or MLP, I think is really a unique angle that I like a lot. I love the fact that you can team up with another guy, another girl, or another 2 guys, another 2 girls, and create like a team camaraderie, and you get a cool team shirt, and it just creates that whole team atmosphere that I'm so used to with baseball. I love that part of pickleball. I understand there's a place for the independence of, singles and all that stuff. I get it. But for me, coming from a team background sport like baseball, I love the team aspect that I'm seeing for pickleball. And I feel like that's going to be truly what grows because it creates such a unity. It creates families that can come together and travel together and do, what I'm so accustomed to in travel baseball, I have a funny feeling that is going to continue and will be a big part of what you see in the pickleball future, especially as the youth continue to inject more and more and more. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here with Coach's Tip. We got Van Waring, the one, the only Van Waring, that's going to work on what we call the roll volley. The roll volley is a shot that you absolutely have to have as you start going, I would say realistically 3-5 to the 4-4-0-4 to 4-5, you need this shot. So what I have right now is I have Van with a ping pong paddle. One, it makes it a little bit harder, so he's really got to focus on making contact on the ball. And two, it's a little bit more tacky. It's got these nice little rubber grips on it. It's going to allow him to do what I want him to do. I want him to imagine that this is a ball or actually a wheel that he can spin. So I'm going to put this here and I'm going to have him spin the ball. So he's going to go up just like that and it's going to create that spin. You're going to do that one more time, go up. So I'm looking for that motion to where when he's up here to volley, instead of him going straight back and forth, he's going to literally make his big shoulder go up, which is going to create the top spin that we want. I'm going to feed him a couple balls and I'm going to allow him to see if he can get the spin that I want him to get in a roll volley coming back at me. Not bad, one more time. So do you see how his natural tendency is to stab? That's gonna be the tendency that you're gonna have to really start battling to get out of this. I don't want you to stab it, I want you to literally feel like you're rolling it. Again, V, here we go. That's better, even though you missed, it's fine, it's absolutely fine. So now I'm gonna have him hand me my ping pong paddle back. He's gonna feel like he's got a big old massive board to work with now. All right, so now Van has got his real pickleball paddle. He's up, I'm gonna feed him, and he's working on just trying to make the ball do that motion right there again. Good, one more time. Now I'm gonna reset to where his hand's gonna come a little bit further down his paddle, so now he's not gonna be so firm in here, he's gonna be a little bit looser. This is Eastern, let's go like this. And now from here, you're going to, instead of this, I want you to do this, and now you're gonna go up from there. So you're gonna face the paddle toward me just like that. It's gonna feel weird, but I want you to get used to where you could go backhand or forehand, all right? Point the tip at me. So if the logo's on the top of the paddle, yep, come a little bit with your knees, just bend a little bit. Now up and tall, here we go, ball. So now get it above you. Yep, ball. So the roll volley, 3 main tips. Number 1, your paddle's always up. Number 2, you want to use big shoulder, not wristy, big shoulder, big shoulder. And number 3, stay balanced and make sure that I'm staying in the ready position so that I'm reading this ball, all right? Couple more V and we'll get you out of here. Not bad, that's a really good one. Ball, look at that, last one. Beautiful. Van Waring, roll volley, work on it. It will change your game. Just to give you a tip, if you are able to hop on YouTube at any time, we do have videos that are tied into all of these tips, which will definitely help you. You'll get to see some live video action of us working on the drills that everybody's working on right now to get better at pickleball and smashing that plastic ball. I certainly hope and pray that you guys have enjoyed this introduction to Tommy. If there's any comments, questions, concerns that I can help you with, please, I'm a DM away. Email us. If you haven't done so far, please subscribe to our podcast. I have no desires not to share with you what I can and what I cannot. And most importantly, I do appreciate you guys following this journey. And if you would be so kind to please share Smashing Plastic, I'd be forever thankful. We will see you soon on the next podcast. Coach Tommy out.